Hey, hope you're all doing well. Now, I'm sure all of you have seen at some point or another these little wraps that sit just around the top of the guitar neck, over top of the strings, above the first fret, below the tuning pegs. If you don't know what they are, this is called a fret wrap. So what exactly is it? And are they useful? Do you need one? Well, in my experience, the answer to that question is sometimes. You don't need it for every guitar. You do need it for some. Why? Because when you're playing, believe it or not, and you may not know that you can hear this or not, but you get this, that string noise resonates through the guitar and it's interfering with what you're playing. Makes you think you're playing not as cleanly as you probably could be. So on this guitar, for example, let's hear if we can hear it. You can hear that already, actually. Let me just turn this gate off this preset. That's pretty crap, right? Now, if I get this little fret wrap and I pop it up here, stick it around there, listen to the difference. Take it away again. So yeah, in this instance, on this guitar, it definitely requires one of these little fret wraps. And all you need to do is just stick it on there and it gets rid of it. This is the ORION'S brand. I think it's literally called fret wrap. It's just got this little bit of padding and a Velcro doober. You stick it through just like a belt, I suppose. Velcro's on. You can get different sizes. This one is actually for a 6-string guitar, but it fits quite well. Well, it fits all right onto the 7-string. I don't actually play this 7-string very often, but good to know that it sounds like crap and it needs it. Let me try just another guitar real quick. So here I've got an ESP Snakebite. If you're a Metallica fan, you may already know this. James actually uses a little bit of foam underneath the strings, which essentially does the same kind of deal. Now, I don't usually use a fret wrap on this guitar. A, because I don't like the look of them all the time, especially on a guitar that I want to have the proper look, you know? It looks cool. And in the preset, I don't notice it. With this preset, let's find out. Yeah, can definitely hear it. So let me just grab this fret wrap. Cool, so there it is. It is on. Look, it hasn't gotten rid of it completely, but it's definitely better. If I turn this gate on this preset. Cool, so if you're using a hard gate, now this, in this preset that I'm currently playing through, is quite a clampy gate. And it's not too bad. I can still hear it and I don't necessarily like it. Another thing too, just to keep in mind, especially on this guitar, because of the way the headstock is shaped, it was kind of angled. And when I get down real low, I'm gonna bump into that. So I reckon that's why James, for example, uses the bit of foam underneath. He's not gonna get in the way, he's not gonna feel it ever. So that's one comment that I do have about the fret wraps, is that they can, it's not too bad, but you do definitely bump it every once in a while when you get to the top. If that's going to affect the way you play, then potentially look at other options like foam underneath, or buy this and stuff the stuff underneath the strings and it will quiet them down quite a lot. Now, in guitars that have a Floyd Rose style setup, in the back there, that's where the spring-loaded system lives and is housed. Now, very much so, you will hear those springs through the guitar when you play, especially into a very overdriven tone. So some guitars already have some foam in there. They take control of that noise and they help mute it anyway. They don't necessarily cover it completely. So if you have a Floyd Rose guitar and you can hear that string resonance through the guitar and you've already taken care of it up here, but it's still there, open up the back and do the same thing here. Get some foam or some kind of padding around the springs. Don't push on them too much, just in there so it holds them and it's not gonna resonate in there too much. Another great use for fret wraps is to use them as a mute. So you would put them around here. So when does that come in handy? Obviously when you're playing live, that's just gonna get in the way. I have seen people who keep their fret wraps up here, literally mid-song will do that, do their tapping or their solo, and then we'll bugger that off back to the top. I think that's stupid, but you know, they sound clean when they play. Let's say, for example, you're a bit messy on your lead guitar, okay? Let's try it now with it muted here. When it comes to sweeping, for example, definitely helps clean up that sweep playing as well. Great for recording. So like I said, some people do it live, but you know, that's not for me. But that's a cool little trick to help get the perfect clean take in a recording session. So there we go. That is a fret wrap. Do you need one? Sometimes. If your guitar is carrying on, grab yourself one of these. I'll chuck a link down the bottom. It may or may not be an affiliate link, but if it is, it'd be really cool if you followed through that and bought it that way. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned. See you next time. Over the beaches instead.